All right, Paul. First, I guess we'll just start about how this day was for you being here, witnessing this in person.
Well, this whole week has been very not as expected emotionally. It wasn't celebratory for me. I'm sitting in court listening to one victim or victim's family just demonstrate how much trauma they've had. And so today, yes, he's sentenced, but it wasn't the feeling of elation for me. This was recognizing that all these people I just saw and the trauma they had were getting justice, but it doesn't erase what he did to them.
And for you to sit here and hear him speak, stand up and speak clearly, you've been saying he's putting an act on, the videos show that, but what does that apology mean? Do you think it was sincere?
DeAngelo is always looking out for his best interest, and I do think he's concerned about how he's being perceived. And one, survivor after another basically called out his cowardice for not engaging them while they were talking to him. And I think this was him now saying, I'm not a coward, I'm willing to turn and face you. I don't buy that he is remorseful for his acts. I think when you take a look at his behaviors, not only just while he's committing the attacks, but then he would call the victims years later to continue to inflict fear. I think inside, he very likely was experiencing a little bit of a thrill knowing that even after 40 years, his actions still was causing these victims trauma, because that's what he was about. That's what psychologically he needed. He's a psychological sadist.
And seeing these videos, you probably already knew about this, but putting the paper towels over the light reminds you of something, huh?
Well, absolutely. First you see, even at the age he is, how agile to be able to climb up, just like he would be climbing up over a fence to get into a victim's backyard. He climbs up to get on top of this light structure and then blocks the light out with pieces of paper or cardboard. Well, that was exactly what he was doing when he would remove the woman out into the family room and then cover the TV with a towel or similar object to get that soft glow. And that's what I saw when I went into his bedroom after the arrest. He had his computer monitor covered with a towel. This is just replicating, the crime scene. This is something that feeds into his ongoing fantasies about the crimes he committed.
This day is for the victims, the survivors, for the investigators who have spent so long on this case. Talk to me a little bit about that, your conversations with the women who have been next to you through all this.
This week is really about the victims. This was their chance to confront him, to let the court know exactly how their lives have been impacted or the loss of a loved one impacted the family. I know in talking to the victims that did give their presentation, there is the nerves of going up and having to do that, the strength they had to have to do that, and then sort of this, it was a cathartic experience for them afterwards. But I'm not seeing victims who are giddy at this point in time. The emotions are just still so raw. And this is going to be something that just the experience of having to do that, I think they have to heal from that. It's something that, most people don't ever have to do, is confront somebody who, sexually assaulted them or killed a family member. And now they had to get the courage to do that. So I think this is going to be, even though it's a great moment for the case, this is just another step for those who suffered to go through in the healing process.